Hey, good morning, Ethan. This is a demo video for you for your redo on your Vader's Vault Fury. We're going to go over my desk. I'll show you everything that I did to this guy and then package this up and get it out in the mail to you today. Thanks, man. All right, Ethan, let's go over your Vader's Vault Fury here. This is something that you sent to me that was kind of an older Saber. It had an older setup with an in-hilt LED system, but now this one has been set up for Neopixel. You've got a KR Sabers lit PCB in there, so you've got lots of LEDs on the blade connector. Those aren't meant to light up a blade though. These are just meant to light up a blade plug and give you some animation when you don't have a blade in, all right? And you'll see those light up here in a second. Still a 2-button setup. You got your power here, auxiliary back here. On the power switch, you originally had one of these, or it was this one in particular, right? But you didn't like the way that this would start twisting around inside of the housing, because this is basically just a drop-in plunger system that drops in from the back. You see this, but it would spin sometimes. So what you and I had talked about is I got rid of this and I machined you a replacement one out of aluminum that doesn't have a symbol on it. That way, if it twists around, you wouldn't be able to tell. All right, so that's what we've got there. Some laser etching on the actual Saber, in between the grips here, on the emitter, this piece, in between the grips, and down here. All right, to get to your chassis, you just want to unscrew the handle. All right, we're going to take the handle off right here. Your chassis is brass. It has a cutout for a crystal chamber, and you'll see your crystal right there. All right, you can see that from both sides. So that cutout is equal 180 degrees from each other to see that light up, and you'll see that here in a second. Then additionally, I put some cutouts right here for an 8-pixel LED strip. So you'll see that light up. There's 180 degrees from that, some additional cutouts for another 8-pixel strip. Speaking of LED strips, you had some holes right here on the Saber that weren't utilized for shine through before. So I put an additional 6-pixel accent strip behind these holes, so you have some extra animation right here. All right, coming over here, you have your kill switch for the Saber because you do have a static battery. That battery is actually located up in here. All right, so kill switch for the battery and a USB-C. The USB-C is how you charge the Saber, and it's also how you get to your board. You have a Proffie V3. You're gonna wanna make sure you have a USB-C cable that's both data and charging. Sometimes if you buy these, they're just charging cables. If you have that, you won't be able to get access to the board. So make sure it's a data and charging cable. And to get to the board or to charge the Saber, you just plug the cable in just like that. Okay, put that over here to the side. Let's flip this guy on. All right, if I turn this light off over here, you can see your crystal chamber. See that on both sides there. Get your LED strip here. Now this LED strip and this LED strip are wired together. So if I put my 2 fingers right here, you can see they're scrolling in unison together. All right, this one right here is wired separately, so it's doing its own thing until you hit power. This one goes to matching the blade. These ones ramp up in animation a bit. Your crystal also goes to matching the blade. And you have twist off. All right, we'll turn this light back on. That's what the chassis looks like with the handle off of it. You've got a 22mm Smuggler's Outpost Nano Elite speaker in there. I did the etch on the actual brass chassis as deep as I could get it without actually going through. Might be a little bit hard to see if the camera won't focus, but you'll see it in person. You can tell on the very edge here how deep I etched that thing. All right. This is meant to slide right in here. Twist this on, lock it down tight. Still got that animation right there. We'll hit power. That's when your LEDs light up here. Auxiliary right here. You can twist it off, or if you don't want to twist it off, you can simply tap the power button. That also turns it off. All right, flipping it over here, you've got your blade plug, or not your blade plug, sorry, it's very early in the morning, your blade retention screw. This saber is made for a 1-inch diameter blade. So we're gonna put our blade in, make sure it's resting on those pins very tight. Tighten down the blade, hit power. And you've got a 1-inch diameter Neopixel blade that lights up. Blaster bolt deflex is just tapping auxiliary. Blade lockup is holding the auxiliary button down and hitting the saber. Get your blade lockup animation there. To play your soundtrack, do a long press on the power when the saber's off. All right, do another long press to turn that off. And then to go to another sound font, if you had multiple on here, you would tap auxiliary when the saber's off. You have the Coda sound font that my buddy Keenan over at Kasith made for me for my Coda run. I put that on there to test it. There is a copy of the config file on the SD card because the saber is running 4 blade styles. I'll take this blade out real quick and explain to you. I did label each blade style on the config. All right, so the first one will be your blade. The second one will be this guy right here. The third blade style will be these 2 LED strips that you have in your chassis that are wired together. So that counts as 1 blade style. And your 4th blade style is your crystal chamber. All right, so we'll turn this on. Come over here when we want to turn it off. We'll just flip the kill switch with our finger and it turns the saber off. And that is how you operate that. So I hope that you like the way that that came out. Please let me know if you have any questions. Pretty early in the morning today, so it's my intention to package this up and get it out to you today. Thanks, man.